Nuclear war has become a realistic nightmare for humanity since the world realized the danger of weapons of mass destruction. Since then, increasingly sophisticated questions have arisen in people's minds. For example, is it possible to blow up the moon? Or what would happen if we detonated our entire nuclear arsenal? First, let's determine the Earth's current nuclear assets. Currently, approximately 15,000 nuclear warheads are stored globally, the majority held by the United States and Russia. This quantity is enough to theoretically create an island the size of Manhattan, upon which all the world's skyscrapers could be built. However, let's shift from such fanciful comparisons to the grim reality. Imagine this deadly arsenal stored in a single global hangar. Imagine the world's leaders losing their minds and deciding to detonate it. What would the consequences be? First, let's consider the 1883 eruption of Krakatoa in Indonesia, which killed 36,000 people and virtually destroyed the archipelago. The blast force was equivalent to 200 megatons of TNT. For comparison, a Minuteman warhead has a yield of 300 kilotons. The Krakatoa eruption resulted in a 250-kilometer radius of destruction, with massive dust plumes reaching 80 kilometers into the atmosphere, turning day into night. The blast waves circled the globe multiple times, and the eruption sounds were audible 5,000 kilometers away. Why this information? There are currently approximately 4,500 cities worldwide with populations of around 100,000 people. While some cities are smaller and some much larger, this is a reasonable average. It would take approximately 3 warheads to destroy each such city. Therefore, simultaneous detonation of a significant portion of the existing arsenal could instantly obliterate these cities, leaving nothing but rubble. This single action would wipe out approximately half the Earth's population. And after this initial strike, we'd still have over half of the global nuclear arsenal remaining. This is only the beginning. The question then becomes, what would the detonation of all 15,000 warheads simultaneously look like? The combined explosion would have the effect of 15 Krakatoa eruptions, a horrific and grotesque sight. Initial witnesses would likely find it hard to believe their eyes. An incandescent fireball, 50 kilometers in diameter, would rise instantaneously. The blast wave would instantly destroy buildings, trees, and everything within a 3,000-hectare radius. Everything within a 250-kilometer radius of the epicenter would be incinerated. The shockwave wouldn't just circle the globe. The sound would be distinctly audible in every corner of the Earth. But what happens afterward? For events of this, or even smaller scales, the worst often comes later. Survivors would envy the dead, wishing for instantaneous death instead of the agonizing, protracted demise that would follow. A nuclear mushroom cloud, 50 kilometers high, would reach the stratosphere. The explosion would be felt even by astronauts on the ISS. A crater approximately 10 kilometers in diameter would scar the Earth. Fires would engulf the affected area, and radiation would spread across the planet, claiming its terrible toll. Cancer rates would skyrocket. Those who survived the initial blasts and radiation would face a protracted nuclear winter, resulting in mass starvation, devastating diseases, and the extinction of a significant portion of humanity. Nuclear weapons are undoubtedly among the most terrifying and destructive inventions ever created. But could they destroy the entire planet? The answer is nuanced, both yes and no. Physicists and volcanologists have explored this question, reaching some ambiguous conclusions. First, the Earth, a massive stone sphere 12,742 kilometers in diameter, cannot be destroyed, even by our current nuclear arsenal. This wouldn't change even if we mined all the Earth's uranium and created 10 trillion bombs equivalent to those dropped on Hiroshima. Second, while splitting the Earth is beyond our capabilities, physicists theorize that it might be possible to shift its orbit. Stopping the planet's rotation, for example, would require detonating 600 quintillion megaton-class bombs simultaneously. This would likely cause the Earth to stop rotating and drift toward the Sun, leading to its inevitable destruction. Volcanologists, however, disagree, asserting that even the eruption of the supervolcano Yellowstone has not been able to shift Earth's orbit. They consider it highly unlikely that humanity could achieve this, especially considering the practically impossible number of bombs required to significantly alter Earth's rotation. However, all scientists, regardless of their field, unanimously agree on the need for drastic reduction in the global nuclear arsenal. We are sitting on a powder keg that could explode at any moment, killing its creators and billions of their fellow humans. Even a nuclear conflict between small nations would have planetary consequences, leading to significant climate change, mutations, incurable diseases, and widespread famine. A large-scale war between superpowers would likely throw humanity back into the Dark Ages.